Good morning, everybody. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Joann. Hi, Short. Good to see everybody.
Girl. Morning,
Thanks
everybody.
for coming today. Okay, we want to say hi to our YouTube audience and thank you for joining us in the sacred energy of Circle this morning. Today, you're going to be able to watch our evidential mediums as they connect with people who have crossed over to the other side and deliver messages from those people. And our hope, our reason for being here is that by watching our mediums at work, you'll come to understand that the loved ones that you may have lost aren't lost. They're still with you. So please join us as we open with a prayer. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Please help us to open all of our senses, physical and spiritual, so that we can receive your messages without interference from our own minds. We humbly ask that you make this circle an uplifting and joyous experience for everyone in attendance. Please ask the spirits who recognize the voices in this room to join us this morning so that we will know that they watch over us, love us, and protect us still. And please allow us to deliver the information presented by Spirit with grace and compassion, in complete trust and respect of your infinite wisdom. Amen. All right, so we have 4 people today. I think 12 minutes is sufficient. I Does that sound good? We'll be flexible. Okay, and whenever anybody gets a link, just hop on in there. Okay, I'll set up a timer.
Yeah, I can start.
Oh,
Oops,
thank
sorry.
you.
Go ahead.
All right.
No, go ahead, Joann. Go ahead.
That's okay. Sure, because I am sure I'm with you.
There you go.
Right.
I have this beautiful woman coming forward, and I feel the energy I'm feeling is motherly grandmother feeling I'm getting. And how she's presenting herself is, and how I see her. She has dark straight hair, and I see it like even like in a ponytail, in this beautiful colored dress. And I see it's like a robe, a strap like this, but a beautiful color. And I had the word in my, she gave it to me and I lost it. And I feel this woman is petite and very nurturing and sweet. I'm going to stop right there. Sure. Do you recognize this woman that I'm bringing forward?
Yes.
Okay. May I work with you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you. And she's so excited to be here. She is sharing with me that, and I want to preface back, I think we've talked about this before. Being that we're mediums, we sort of like shoot, um, maybe she'll offer details, but she is definitely going and sharing that she has been here a number of times for you, sure. Would you understand that? Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And she loves this space because she's able to communicate with you. She felt that and she knew that you were a tender-hearted soul. And if you did not know her, but I feel like she did know her, she had a sweet spot for you. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you. And with that, she is sharing with me that you were very curious when you were younger. Like you would ask these questions and it would make her smile. And she would actually, she's giving me the word ponder. Like she'd have to think how to answer your question. Would you understand that relationship that you would have? And I feel like it's more like would you understand her to be your grandmother? And if it's not your grandmother, your mother. Like I just feel like it's her
Mother.
mother,
You
mother.
can take.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel, thank you. And it was, would you understand that you would ask her and she would like, like he's like really wise behind his ears, and you would ask her these questions and she would have to, she would, I see her smiling. And she had a very soft exterior. Would you understand that around your mother?
Yes, I do. I do.
Soft. And she was also very pensive. Excuse me. And she's she wants to say it again. She enjoys spending this time and being able to spend this time. And she's saying throughout the years, throughout the years with you. Is your father, I'm asking a question because I feel like he's still living. Is your father still living? Sure.
He's living on the other side.
Oh, he's still living on the other side. Okay. Okay. It's interesting because this is what it is. Did you okay. So the feeling I guess the impression, the reason why I got that is, did your mother cross over before your father?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm like, okay, so what was that? So that was it. It was I wasn't able to articulate that, but that's how I felt. I felt like he was here much longer. And he longed to be with your mother. That's when he was here. He felt I feel like there was a few years between when she passed and he was still here in this world.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and so I just felt like he longed to be with her. Mm. And I can see why, myself personally, knowing you through Zoom, I haven't met you personally, sure, how you get this really soft and your energy and pensive and very giving and compassionate. Is your parents were like that, that they were very pensive and they thought of others, and they were very mindful of what they said because they knew that they would have an impact on their children.
Yep.
Would you understand that? Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
thank you. So I think you had like a beautiful upbringing that most people, not most people, some people haven't had an opportunity to have in this world.
Yeah. Totally.
Hmm. And mm, and the message, and I'm getting a message already. I have 5 minutes. Maybe I could go just, but they want to definitely they want to encourage you to keep down this path because there's so much healing um, that even I feel like even your own presence of just being with someone is healing. There's someone else trying to come through, and once I started talking to your father, I felt his presence with me as well. Mm. So this is your father trying to come through, and he's showing me a project, like an intricate project. It's almost like a puzzle that like putting together, and you would spend this time, and I see like coffee on the side and putting this stuff together as you're conversing about things. And that's how he liked to spend quality time because he was a busy man. But he always found time. I feel like this is how I see it. Would you understand that? Like sitting down, and I feel like it was like a puzzle that you would put together, or and if I'm not getting that right, you can say no. Sure.
And there's something along those sides, yeah.
Okay, thank you. It it's like building something. Like, and I can't quite get it, but mm. And it's interesting with that, though. He's very philosophical. Like, I feel like with that message of building and spending time, it's that simple. Spending time building, putting these puzzle pieces together and developing a friendship and nurturing people just by those simple activities. And I feel, while he's sharing that he knows that it's so crucial, especially during this time, that we implement those activities. It's bringing that human connection and just doing those small, it seems like not a huge thing, but just spending that quality time, drinking that coffee, and putting the puzzles together and having conversation. That's what's greatly needed. And it's that simple. And it's offering just awareness and insight through conversation. And that's just a beautiful thing. And I just feel like with that, it's like there's a ripple of that love that permeates through that. Mhm. And he wants to end it with I don't know if he talked to you this way, but he says, I love you, my son. And I'll leave his love with you. Mm.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Yeah, you picked up the right points about my mom and dad. Pensive. Yep. Um, yeah, my upbringing was very, very good, I would say.
Mm.
As you pointed out, curious. I was curious all my life, and that got me where I am now. Even
Yeah.
curious about the spirits. And you described her very well too. Petite, ponytail. Um, you said, yeah, she has been with me throughout the years. That's very, very accurate. Ever since I started mediumship,
Yeah.
she has been showing her presence.
Yes. That's what I
It's
felt.
incredible, incredible. And that, yeah, you said about in some intricate projects. That's actually me.
Mm.
Um, I was building microscope from just two lenses
Oh,
and looking at things, just common things when I was a child, and I was
okay.
showing it to them. I guess they saw something
Yeah.
in me, curiosity wise. Yeah. Yeah, and the message makes a perfect sense. The conversation, uh, getting together, having conversation, being part of the family is the critical, and that's something which I'm trying to bring back. That's
Mm.
something which is missing. So I need to put a little more effort from my end to bring the family together. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yep, that's beautiful.
Uh, mm.
That was absolutely beautiful, Joanne. And you said something during that reading that caught my attention. And when Sher's mother came in, and specifically, she said that she's a frequent visitor to this
Mhm.
space.
Mhm.
And so I want to kind of open that discussion up for the benefit of our YouTube audience and talk about that, because it seemed to me that after she said that, this reading just kind of like went into kind of like encouragement about what's going on in Shore's life right now. All right.
Mm.
But my question is like, Joanne, how do you think that would have differed if that had been her first time coming into this space? Yeah, would there have been a difference in what her message was to Shore?
Well, I can't really speak to that. Okay, so this is just going back. I really just trust spirit, and spirit knows what the sitter needs. And
Okay.
if it had to be like, say their dog passed or something else came, I feel that they would present that to me if
Okay.
that's the information they needed.
Okay.
That's what I'm
All right.
thinking. Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
just leading into that, and it would be different. I think it would be different. Um, I think because we've been doing this for so long, I'm trying to be aware because you've asked those questions. Um, how would it, how would it be different? How, if we would address someone first timer, because we address things differently. I feel like
Mhm,
it's just
mhm.
at a faster pace. I think we would definitely, or I feel that spirit will give me information so that they would know, the sitter would understand that their loved ones were here. And maybe they would give me a piece of information that they wanted to know. I don't know that, but that's
Mhm.
what I figure because I really try to trust spirit and what they have to offer. And I'm always wanting to connect with spirit for healing and for the sitter.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that makes good sense there, I think. And the reason that I asked that question is because it seems to me sometimes that, like when a spirit comes in for the first time,
Hmm.
a lot of times in my experience, the message seems to be have like a lot of urgency and like just tell Sure I'm okay, you know, this kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes,
But
that's true.
but
Yes.
yeah, okay, but then when they get more comfortable with this environment, the messages become a lot more laid back and loving, but like in my experience, there's such a difference between the first message and subsequent messages, and at least
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
that's
So now that you
that's
bring
the way that
that,
it
yes,
works out for
that's,
me.
yes, and that's true. I've had that. And the
Okay,
parents needed to know that their child was okay. Yes. Because I didn't know where you were inferring. Like I was trying
okay,
to, yeah, and that's
okay.
true.
But you're right.
But
Yeah,
then once again,
you would trust spirit, okay, because that, initially, that's what the spirit wants to communicate. That is their message. Just tell them I'm okay, And so you're right, you trust spirit. But I'll kick it over to Sure and ask you, like in your experience, like do you find a difference between like first messages and like subsequent visits from the same spirit, like a whole change in the tone of the reading?
Yeah, just get the sense of whether the person is coming for the first time or is a
Yeah.
repeat offender. um, oh, with love, of course.
With love, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I get that sense that they have been here, and that actually also trickles down into the type of message that they deliver. Like Joann did not, well, they didn't try to convey through Joann, I'm okay on the other side, because they've been here so many times, and I've gotten those messages before. So bringing in something new, which is truly the need of the time, is what I got from the message today.
Okay.
And time is, of course, there's limited time on this planet, and when we get those messages, we need to act on them,
Right.
because that could be life changing. That
Mhm.
could be life changing, because kids are growing, and I'm taking get maybe buying a one-way ticket up there to meet them. So yeah, time is of the essence. So when you get
Okay.
the message, which is truly the need of the time, you had to really act on it too.
Okay. The medium has to act on it. Yeah.
Yes, the
Okay.
receiver. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
the sitter.
Okay. Makes perfect sense then. Well,
And
how do you
Carol,
wait?
Carol, I
Sorry.
think that's why Spirit wanted me to, because when I'm connected, I think when I said that, I didn't remember I said that, but it was urging me to say that to tell the audience this is going to be different as
Yeah.
opposed to like a first time reading. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. But and I threw that out there because, I'm sure there's somebody out there in YouTube land who's looking at that and saying, you know, well, she didn't tell Shore how his mother died and, what her cause of death was and all that. And well, the reason for that is she did that many readings ago and she has moved on. So, all right. So that's the answer to that question. But I'm going to kick it out to Tammy, okay, and ask, Tammy, what's your experience on that subject?
Well, I was going to say too, what you made me just think of is that because we are doing this so often, we 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 recognize other things they might come in with to let us know that they're there. There might be new things, but there might be a couple of things that almost like shorthand from them, like this is who they might come in dressed a certain way. It's like, okay, yeah, they're, you know. But it's interesting that it's a very interesting question because it's something I've wondered about a lot recently, actually. Are they training at the same time we're training? And I'll hear different things. And I mean, I just know that um, I, I kind of wonder if maybe probably all of you have read the Incredible Afterlife of Billy Finger, and it's such a great book, and I really think it gives a sense of the other side, and kind of they can be in different places, and I think maybe different dimensions, different realms, it's who knows, but sometimes I wonder. I know in the book when he's in a different place, maybe further away, or his sister doesn't hear from him for months, and then suddenly he's back because he's kind of been somewhere else. And so I wonder about that sometimes. I wonder, is it that they're new coming in and they're not sure how this works? And I kind of feel that way just from what I've seen of my husband's path on the other side. But but I also, excuse me, wonder if I also feel like they're in different places that aren't as easy to communicate, where it's not as easy to communicate. Maybe maybe the frequencies change, So like they
Oh,
can't quite get in, just like when you're on the radio and you're going to a different state, suddenly it's like,
yeah.
oh, I can't, the stations, I'm losing that station.
Right, right, right.
And so I kind of feel like it's like that. And so
Well, that's an
I
interesting
know.
idea. That's
Well,
food for thought.
I do gotta say though, they'll answer the phone if you call them.
Yes.
Not always though, not always. And that's why we
Oh,
have to tell.
it might be they're a bad communicator though.
Well, and that's why we always have to say, well, try for the person you want, but we can't guarantee it because, the frequency just might not be right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Or maybe they're not ready to come in too. Maybe they're just not,
Yeah.
so I don't
Yeah, a lot of that I just feel like we don't even have the answers to until
know.
we to the other side, you know?
No.
What's the
Oh my
name of
gosh.
that book, Tammy?
What's that?
What's the name of the book you mentioned?
Oh, it's called The Incredible Life. It's either The Incredible Afterlife, maybe it's The Incredible Afterlife of Billy Finger.
Oh, okay.
And it's
Okay.
just it's a pretty small book, but it's just a wonderful book. And his sister believes, he starts communicating with her and she's like, this is definitely in my mind and I don't trust any of this. And then he starts to give evidence, really concrete evidence.
Right.
And she,
Wow.
and so they write this book together.
Oh, okay. So there is along those lines, there's a movie, a video that's movie that's available on DVD.
Oh,
It's called Astral City.
Astral City?
Yeah,
Never seen that.
it's incredible. So this is the person who crossed over and channeled that information about his life on the other side.
Oh my gosh.
And from that channeled chapters, somebody made the movie. And it's incredible to watch.
Oh, I can't
Simple
wait.
Astral City is
Tonight.
Brazilian director.
Okay.
Oh gosh, that's happening tonight for me.
Okay. And for the
Beautiful.
benefit of our YouTube audience, I will put the name of that book and the name of that movie in the text so so that you can look that up and find it, wherever you are. So
Yeah.
okay. But thank you both for the recommendations. So all right, who wants to go next?
Maybe I can
Sure. Thank you.
continue.
Go ahead.
I feel I have father coming in. He would be in a mind frame that he should prepare for his departure. He feels like in his 70s, but that's not the age he died. He would have lived well into early to mid 80s. But his mind was that he needed to take care of everything that needed to be done. And he would prepare, take care of things that only he would or he could do. And his demeanor, his whole, not whole, but the later part of his life was consumed with that. It was all right to prepare, to think about things. And everybody should be doing that regardless. But there's some overly concern that he had about his own life. So who can understand this gentleman? Ah, Joann. And would you understand he would have lived up to like 84 or so?
I believe 80.
80, okay, yeah. And people were feeling a little bit surprised that he was so consumed with that, because he slowed down in his life, keep pulling everybody together for like it's his last uh, month or last year or so uh, on this earth. Um, profusely showing of, I don't want to say affection, but yeah, just his presence was kind of sometimes disturbing to people, like why he's already thinking that he's gonna be gone, and his worries definitely proved to be wrong because he lived through old age. Would that make sense? The apparentness of his concern was just tremendous and noticed by everybody. That's the key thing that I'm getting as a first step. That's I want to make sure you understand completely.
Yeah. So, first it was just to give you preference, it's my father-in-law.
Oh, father.
And
Okay.
yeah, and he always comes through like my father.
Okay.
And yes, and he was very always concerned about that. Um, yes, and I'll fill you in a little more about that as well.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. But it's a good thing that he was concerned and he took care of things, all the
Mhm.
insurance paper, all the taxes, whatever,
Yes.
trust, everything that was all set. Nobody had to worry, but people had to wait for inheritance. I'm
Oh,
joking.
yeah.
But yeah, preparedness is something which everybody has to go through. Some people start really late, some people start early. Uh,
Mhm.
and the earlier you start, you have peace of mind, but that's not he had. But in
Mhm.
turn, just because he was concerned, worried, consumed, he wanted to be close to everybody, and everybody felt the love or from him.
Mhm.
He had a successful career. I feel he was very gentle, and it feels like an office work that he would have been involved with,
Yes.
and more like a manager. I mean, there were people reporting to him as well.
Yes. Hmm.
Something to do with communication, telecommunication. That's
No.
um yeah, I'm not too clear about that. But he was a fixer. He could fix things. tools were important for him. Would that make sense? Tools.
I don't know that.
Okay.
But he was a fixer. Like,
Okay.
he was able to communicate for someone else to fix it.
Oh, all right. Okay. He was close to you. He adored you. Um, of course, his son as well. But you brought tremendous joy to his heart. Tremendous. And you could feel that after the birth of your first child. This is something just feeling overjoyed, incredible uplifting of his soul that he felt. Like I don't want to be away from this child for too long. So would you understand he would have spent a lot of time with the kid?
No, but they did take the time to see because we live so far away.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm just feeling that I need to spend every minute I have. So he was not able to do that, but whenever he was close, this is a girl, would you understand?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He would have given the whole world to her. So amazed. Even though it's a part of life, but somehow he was just really thrilled with the grandkid, reliving. So the word coming is he was reliving his own youth. Like when he had his own kids, the excitement. So it came back through your cycle in a way. So you gave him this another leash on the joy. Yeah, it's never too late to start, and it feels like you're not too worried about preparing for all the documents or trusts or anything. But it's always good to have that in place and remove all the worries once you have taken care of things, and not follow his step, even though he took care of things, but he's still constantly worried. So but he wants you to start the process, bring it to fruition, and just leave it there and not worry. So this is something which is a task that he's leaving that to you. Way to live your life, So I'm going to stop here, leave you with his love and blessings.
Thank you. Okay, so this was really interesting because I think it was him describing his son. Where I had this awareness of the first time he had his son, his firstborn child. That's the feeling you were describing.
Right.
And because I saw that, I witnessed that with my husband holding his first child, and it was sort of like, wow, this child's here. Like my home life has changed, you know. It went from like doing work or whatever. And my husband's a lot like his father. He prepares for everything. It's ridiculous. I'm like, you know, and he's just like his father. So what you had said, he is beyond prepared.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was a CEO of a shoe manufacturing company.
Wow.
And yes, he had to do a lot of communication and everything and traveling. And what's so great about that is I I can see how I wouldn't have known that because he didn't, like you said in the very beginning, I saw you were struggling with the way he felt. He didn't express himself. He never said, I love you. He just showed his actions through what he did for his children and with his family. He showed up, he provided, and that's how he showed his love. He wasn't giving like that. And he was a very smart man, but it was his upbringing that caused him to be that way. But thank you, sure. I mean, is there any questions? I mean, it's interesting with I believe he was 80. I have to look. I forget. What's interesting about him is I never, you know, I just when I met him, I knew immediately. I'm like, oh my goodness, my husband's so much like his father. Like, so, and to witness that, it was very interesting. And they did come out to visit when she was born. The unfortunate part, I didn't have either my parents or his parents for my daughter's years, you know, just when they were little. So I didn't get to experience all that, but I can see the joy that he would have around his grandchildren. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, he just wanted to express, assure you that he loved you too.
Yeah. And it was interesting because he has shown up for me in the very beginning of my development. Very loud.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he's a great communicator. Thank you, Sharon.
Beautiful. Well,
I know him actually how the whole thing is that we're as mediums. I know him more now and now that he's crossed over than I did when he was here.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, take his love. He, if even though he didn't express, but he, he just wanted to communicate that there was love for you.
I
And
appreciate
the
that.
joy that you brought him was tremendous.
And I would never have known that, but that was great. That was great.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. And see, it's sort of funny. We're sort of continuing the theme, you know, from Shore's reading, okay, and having things come up in this reading for Joann, okay, and none of this is like cold hard facts per se, okay, but this is all about like what's going on in his mind right now,
Well,
okay.
yeah. But I gotta
So
say, there is facts because he was describing him and who he was.
yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot of facts in
but
that.
not facts about his passing is what I meant to
Oh,
say.
I don't need to know that. I don't want to
Okay,
know.
let's go there. Go ahead.
I don't want to know how he passed. I
Okay.
know how he passed. I don't
Yes.
need the validation in how he passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Now, see, that's a good point because I'm in the same camp as Joann. When I read, I do not even like to ask spirit like those questions about passing because in my mind it's depressing. You know, like I don't want to hear about how, you know, my loved ones were gasping for breath or anything like that. I don't want to hear that. Give me the happy news. And, for me in that reading that sure did, the happy news there was he comes in and he says he adored Joann, and it wasn't something that he would have said in his lifetime, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, where do you weigh in, Tammy, on that?
Oh, I just realized my microphone, I was unmuted the whole time. Oops. Through the whole reading. Um, I never wonder or ask how they passed because I always want to know how they lived. So I just haven't done that. However, recently I have kind of gone back to thinking, well, that would be kind of interesting to maybe know. So let's see how that would go if I wondered that, if they would provide it. And I feel like they're providing it a little, but they're not going into great, you know, detail about it, which is fine by me. And so, and I'm not even sure if a lot of the time they are providing it. Again, like the putting in for a very long distance phone call, I'm just now putting it out to the universe. I'd kind of like to know how the person passed. So I think it's going to take a while for it to get there to wherever they are for it to start
Yeah.
coming back, that
I want to add, just recently it came up. Like I normally don't get like how they pass unless it's important. I always say if it's important to the sitter and how you pass, let me know. So I got this hurt sensation in my chest when I was talking about it, and that's what I shared, and she could take that.
Mhm.
He had passed away. He had a heart condition.
Mhm.
And so, but I don't need to say and belabor it by saying all the nuances of the end of his life unless they were still grieving, the sitter was still grieving over that the last days of of their lives, and the sitter needed to know that to remove all that, to let that go. And so I believe as mediums, spirit would give you that information so that you can help the sitter release that. So for instance, I'll give an example, and I won't even say who it is. They're hung up on the very last day of a loved one's life. Every nuance they remember. I really do believe if that person were to go to a medium, that medium would have that information would come to them to express that to the sitter so that the sitter would be able to release that because that was just a little snippet of their life and they had so much. That's why we lean on so much of their life because that's just a little small little piece of their long life.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Shore? Where do you weigh in on that? The idea of covering passings and
Yeah, as Joanne mentioned, it's the
you're
need
in
to
that camp.
release last minute issues that are lingering, continuing in their life. Like person feeling guilty that they were not able to be there in the nick of time, and that's hounding them all their lives. And they communicate that they didn't actually want them there because
Mhm.
they didn't want to leave that image of them passing.
Hmm.
So when I brought in people at the deathbed at one of the readings in the church I gave was that this lady, her mom was at home, and she on the deathbed she raised her hand. I raised my hand to show that she was raising hand
Oh,
to um, like reach her daughter, but her daughter understood that she was actually reaching, extending her hand to her own mother who came to help her cross over.
oh gosh. Oh,
So yeah, because there were some names mentioned by the sitter. So yeah, it all depends on the need. If something, a snippet of the information is being held deep inside the heart, and person is not truly at peace with that, spirit would try to bring in some closure so that the person can enjoy whatever life is remaining in for them, because the life is to be lived, not worried. Because people who crossed over, they would not feel mad that you are not there. They
okay.
they want you to enjoy the life you have.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sure. All right. Tammy, are you feeling it?
Well, I have a man here. Let me just go back and connect back in with him. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let me just see where he fits in. Hold on here. Okay, so I do feel like I have a male here who would be somebody that I'm almost feeling like a family friend, or a friend of yours, but a little further out. So not a direct family relative. And the thing he keeps showing me is I feel like we're jumping on a trampoline. And I feel like we're jumping on a trampoline, but in slow motion, doing, flips in the air, and we're bouncing. It's actually lots of fun. We've been bouncing, for the last, almost hour. I've been bouncing with him. And the name that I was feeling around him starts with a C, or could actually be Charlie. So his name or around him. And I do understand with him that he's presenting flowers to the sitter. And so there's a bouquet of flowers coming in. And I feel that that's for something that she would know about, that's special, that's coming up. So let me stop there first. And oh, yes, and it's so ironic that we were talking about how they pass, because I did wonder with him earlier, and he said an illness. So who is he here for? Who understands this man who who would show me this jumping on a trampoline? So I do feel that he either really did that at one time, or this could be symbolic. I haven't had that as a symbolic gesture or piece of information before. But I would say that he's certainly a very graceful person. So who's understanding him so far? Nobody yet. I was feeling a little pulled to Carol, but keep listening, and let me just see what else he brings in. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm also feeling like he drove some kind of a more of a rugged vehicle um, rather than a nicer one, or it just feels kind of rugged to me, kind of rugged and old. Something that you would be able to drive in, a little bit more, a little rougher terrain, or it's something a car that he had for a long time. And I do feel that we're outside, and it's kind of rocky, kind of a rocky terrain, dirt road, rocky terrain, kind of a feeling to it. Okay, thank you. Okay, I feel he's talking about like Joshua Tree. That's a place I have not been to, but I've heard of it. Um, and I know that that's out west, and it's supposed to be a not, an, a more rugged area. So is that helping so far?
Tammy, I'm thinking this has to be for me because I just recently was in the West and looked at Joshua trees, but I am not sure who this man is.
Okay, okay. Would you understand the flowers that he's presenting to you?
Um, no, I don't. I just don't know.
Okay. So nothing's coming up.
Yeah, nothing is
Okay, all
coming to
right.
mind.
Okay. Bear with me just a minute. And the name and the C name or Charlie around him?
I can't place that.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. He must be really far away. No, I'm kidding. Uh, okay, let's just see here. Okay. He's very athletic because I feel now that I'm feeling very much with him like not pole vaulting, but some kind of like track type of thing with him. And I am feeling that this is somebody that is that you somebody from a long time ago. And okay. I'm almost feeling like you were in school together. And I feel like I know I did a reading for you recently where somebody from a long time ago came in. This doesn't feel like the same person. Of course, I don't even remember what that person felt like, but um, yes, there's all kinds of track, around him. Okay. Later, he went into real estate. Okay. And he would have been very made an effort to look presentable, and so that's something that would have mattered to him. Okay. And Carol, I know that you're, heavily into music, and I don't feel he was.
Okay.
He also would not have been like a big reader. Yeah, he read, but he wasn't somebody who like always had a book on the nightstand or, um, okay. I feel actually that you worked with him for a time.
That's where I was going.
Yes, yeah, I feel like that's what he said. We worked together for a time.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I had a coworker named Charlie.
I
Okay.
did. Okay.
All right. So go ahead.
Okay. Awesome. Great. Okay. Okay, so the flowers are for, and I'm not going to use the language. It's fun language, but it's also, kick. He's saying that you were one kind of you know, kick at um, kind of person when you were working together, and
Funny.
so he's commending you on that. And okay. Okay, this is kind of coming back to me a little bit. Nothing got past you. Okay. Okay, and I know that story. So I'm going to see if I'm just I know that story. So
Yeah.
I remember that story. So let's see if he can go somewhere else about that or not about that. Okay. He's talking about you always being on time. He's saying she was always on time, and if you weren't on time, it would affect you for the rest of the day, kind of a thing that like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. and talking about how if you would have gone to like get coffee or something like that, you would always ask somebody like those around you, can I get you anything? You know, so very I guess helpful is not the word, kind of well-mannered, I would say, in that, like I'm going for coffee, can I get you one?
Mhm.
And at wherever the coffee place was, right? You know, I feel like it was within the space, you know. Okay. And he's talking about another woman with whom you were kind of, I want to almost call you co-conspirators. And that he said that he's making a reference to this relationship. So somebody that you kind of worked really well with, another woman that you worked really well with, and that you two were always on the same page and you worked really well together.
Yeah,
Very,
it's
very
true.
similar kind of
Yeah.
character.
Mhm.
Okay. And he knows that sometimes you went to lunch together, but he doesn't know whether you socialized at night. So he just said, I know they went to lunch sometime together, but I don't know whether they socialized at night. He wasn't aware of that. Okay, would you remember some kind of parade going by where you worked? I feel like there's like some kind of,
I don't know.
okay, like a parade or something. He's trying to describe something that was happening like outside the window or of
Well,
wherever you
that's
were working.
true. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
okay. And everybody kind of came to the window and everybody was looking out and talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. And kind of making comments like, what a flipping buffoon, or, you know, that kind of, you know, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Okay, okay. And that how fun it really was. That kind of made the day, you know, it was,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And he's describing it as like entertainment, almost like on a TV. Like, wouldn't it be great if you like you could turn the channel and each day you'd have some kind of entertainment like that, you know, outside your window,
Yep.
because it could get really monotonous and kind of grinding, um, and that because of that, a lot of people there was a lot of gossip, but that you stayed very clear of all of that.
Yeah.
And he's just saying that how nice it is to be able to stop in here, and he's calling it refreshing. He's saying it's very refreshing to be able to stop in. And he's again presenting you with his bouquet of flowers. And but he's taking one, he wants to take one out in particular. And I feel that it's like a yellow, oh, what do you call those? Like a buttercup. I feel like he's taking one out. He gives you the bouquet, but it's like he takes one out and it's a buttercup and he hands you that. I mean, he's the whole thing is for you, but he wants to draw attention to the buttercup for some reason. And I
Hmm.
feel it's something about the color yellow that's significant. So
Okay.
I'm going to leave you with your bouquet of flowers and your buttercup and
Wow.
and your memories with him, with Charlie. Thank you, Charlie.
Oh my gosh, Tammy. Um, so that was absolutely fabulous. And for the benefit of our YouTube audience, okay, I have to explain that was somebody that I worked with 40 years ago, whose name was Charlie. Okay.
Wow.
And when that happens in a reading, sometimes like it's difficult to place that person because like
Yeah.
a coworker from 40 years ago just isn't on my current radar right now. Okay. But so I'll tell you the story. Okay. I think what helped identify me was the fact that you were talking about the Joshua trees. Okay. Because I just seen them. Okay. And everything that he was talking about in the work environment was true, but the funny story was about something happening outside the window. Okay. And you said, what a buffoon. And specifically, there was a guy that we worked with, and he was a young and very immature male. Okay. And he bought, because he lived at home with his parents, okay, he spent all his money on this very expensive sports car, bright red. Okay, arrest me red, as the police say. And he was just an idiot. And so he pulled out of the parking lot one day, and the office was kind of like on a hillside. It's hard to explain, okay, but he was at the bottom of the hill, and he hit the gas on the sports car and went flying up the hill, and he couldn't see over the top of the hill, and parked right in front of the office building where we were was a landscaping truck loaded with mulch. Okay. And he plowed right into the back of the landscaping truck, and all that mulch just came right down onto his car. Okay, his very expensive red sports car.
Oh,
And it happened literally right in front of the office building. So of course everybody was going to look at the window and say, couldn't happen to a nicer guy, because he was an idiot. So, but I'm just kind of like laughing at the whole presentation with him jumping on a trampoline,
well,
because that's like not something that I think he literally did, but it speaks to his upbeat personality. He was a fun-loving person, and the presenting of the flowers, you normally think of that as being romantic, but it was nothing romantic. He was a coworker, but he was just being kind and bringing me flowers. So
that's so interesting. Well, I'm very interested in that, the trampoline, because
yeah,
as we all, I think most of us feel, the first thing that comes in is the most important.
exactly.
And so and I just felt like this, I'm jumping on. So jumping on a trampoline. So
Uh-huh.
light and airy. So maybe that was his personality, kind of light, airy, happy-go-lucky, flipping in the air. And was that his kind of personality?
He was a very happy-go-lucky person. Okay,
Okay.
like
Okay.
that. Okay, but in terms of the trampoline being a literal thing, no, you know,
No.
not at least not to my knowledge. Okay, that never came up at work. But
Yeah.
what nailed it for me was, you were talking about something happening outside the window. We could
Yeah.
never forget that one. It
Yeah.
was just hilarious to see that red sports car,
Oh,
just
God.
crunched right into the back of that landscaping truck, and all that mulch coming down on it.
Oh my God. It's like something out of a sitcom,
Yeah,
a comedy
exactly,
sitcom.
exactly. And could not have happened to a nicer person, believe you me. So so
Uh,
that
well,
was really well done, Tammy.
thank you. I do feel that there was something about track that he did, and that maybe in his youth or something.
Could
But
be.
there was something about track and being,
Mhm.
athletic in that way.
He was pretty fit. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
He was a fit guy,
And he was doing
but
something where he was like jumping forward and jumping back and jumping forward and, like some kind of exercise or something like that. So,
yeah, yeah.
but okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Joanne, you want to weigh in?
Yes, she said his name. I think
Mhm.
hone in because a name, and I'm sure you had to process Charlie, Charlie. Who do I know? Charlie, Charlie, Charlie.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right, right, right.
But she was able to say his name and then further description. Then you were able to, like, I'm sure, piece it together. But that was a crucial evidence right there. Do you feel like
And
if she hadn't said the name, you would still be like, who is this person? Who's this person? Who's this person?
and probably not, because at I mean, I wouldn't have been able to identify him
Yeah,
without the
that's what
name,
I'm
because
saying.
at that company there were so many people there. And like I remember, that the incident outside the window. Well, that could have been anybody at that company. There are
Yes,
like 200 people there. So the name was really, really,
yes.
key there. to make
So I
that
think it
happen.
goes back to what we're saying. Like, I think spirit will give us information that the sitter really needs to know in order to understand the
Yeah,
reading, like,
yeah.
and understand that that's that person. Yes. Yeah. And you
Absolutely.
can't get you can't get any more, you can't get more specific or more, I don't think, that's wrong, but specific enough, the name. You can't, where are you going to veer from that? She got
Yeah.
the name. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you know if he had an illness?
I have not
Don't know, because yeah,
thought about him for more than 30
40 years.
years.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I have no idea. No idea. I hate to say it, I don't even, I'd have to think about his last name. I can't think of what his last name was. But
Yeah.
I just remember Charlie, because
Yeah.
there were like signs posted around the office, like blaming Charlie for this and Charlie for that. So the name was really significant, but I can't think of what his last name was off the top of my head, but I'll have to look. So
That's
thank you
really
for that,
funny.
Tammy.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
you're
good.
so welcome. So welcome.
All right, I'm going to see if I can grab a link here, and let's see if I can find. All right, I'm not we're talking about names. Okay, I just heard the name Ted. Does anybody know a Ted by any chance? All right, let's see where it goes.
I know a Theodore.
Theodore. Okay, all right. And this is going to TED Talk. Okay. And when I lean into this, I'm picking up. I'll call this guy very learned, a very educated man, and like an academic, or just or like an advanced degree. Okay, would you understand that about your Theodore, Tammy?
I would. Theodore would be
Okay,
the middle name.
Theodore's the middle name.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, and he is in spirit, correct?
He is in spirit. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
And he was an academic.
academic. Okay, uh, would you say that he was somewhat of a pompous fellow?
Uh,
I'll tell you, that's the vibe I'm getting from him. He can be a little dry sometimes. Let's see.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Um, do you know if he was a wine connoisseur?
Uh, he, no, he wouldn't have been, but he would have liked wine.
Liked wine? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because he's showing me actually looking at a wine bottle and pointing to the label, like the label is important. But we'll leave it at wine drinker. Let's
Okay.
see.
I can think about that being significant.
Okay. All right. I feel like he had strong opinions about a lot of things, and that definitely not a wishy-washy type of guy.
True.
Uh, he feels further out. Uh, like not like close family to you, but further out. Would that make sense?
I understand. I might understand why it's appearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of a distance here. Okay. He's showing me, I'm going to throw this out, a an old-fashioned pram, like the English nannies used
Oh,
to
yes. Yes,
to,
yes, yes.
to really? You understand the pram?
I do. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. There's something about it here about a desire to travel to Africa. Do you know anything about this?
I know that he did travel to Africa.
He did travel to Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If I were to go down that road, would you know if would you be able to verify anything about it, or should I just acknowledge it and
I
move
would
on?
only know where it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but that's very significant.
Okay. I can't get
It's
a
a general,
read on where it is, but yeah, been to Africa. Now there's I'm feeling a bit of a biting sarcasm with this guy. Okay. And specifically, okay, I see him actually giving the Pledge of Allegiance in a somewhat sarcastic voice. Did that fit with his personality?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. I want to see where that goes, because that just doesn't seem to fit with this man. So let's see where it goes. Um, so he's talking about the state of politics in the United States right
Okay,
now, okay, and the lack of unity in the
okay.
United States. Okay, so would that have been something that would have concerned him?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. So now he's holding up uh, a copy of Mein Kampf. Okay, and it's like he's drawing like parallels.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah,
Okay, all right. So he seems to be pretty opinionated about that.
I can see why he would be. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Did he like good shoes that you know of?
Um, you know what?
Something.
Not particularly. I almost feel like you might have two there, two people,
Oh, okay, all right.
perhaps, but
Okay,
no, just comfortable. They had to be comfortable.
okay, all right. Yeah, something about his shoes. Uh, Back in the day, did he smoke weed that you know of?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm
I think
gonna
so.
I'm just gonna ask him about it. So
I think so.
see what he
I think
says.
there was a little experimentation. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what he said that word at the exact same time you said it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I
It's been
remember being told.
experimentation.
Yeah,
Okay. So basically what he's saying is he's saying it was the 60s. Okay.
that would make
And
sense.
he's
Yeah,
kind of like showing like the activism atmosphere of the 60s. Okay. And he's saying everybody did it, you know. Uh
that makes sense. Yeah.
okay. He liked music.
Yes, he did.
Okay. He was a music person,
Yes.
and and he had vinyl.
Yes.
Okay. He had vinyl. Okay. Uh I'm gonna see if I can grab a message from him real quick. He's telling you to keep your chin up. Okay. He's recognizing that you're going through some difficult times right now. Okay. Um, and he's encouraging you to keep your chin up. Okay. He says this too shall pass. All right. I, and he's a good communicator with a lot of really great visuals, but now he's showing me Don Quixote coming in here, okay, with the lance, like jousting at windmills, okay, this kind of thing. Okay, all right, and so he's, talking about, you know, not wasting your energy on fights that don't benefit you. Okay. Uh, he's encouraging you to turn inward more. Have you been contemplating going to like Arizona, New Mexico, something like this,
Um,
on a retreat?
mm,
He's encouraging you to do this. Okay.
I know what he's talking about.
Okay.
I know what he's
Encouraging
talking about.
encouraging you to go to the Southwest on a retreat. Okay. And get yourself centered. And he's just leaving it there. Okay, so I will leave that with you with light and love, and thank you for letting me serve spirit.
Oh gosh, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks, Carol.
So who was that man?
I believe that was my father-in-law.
Okay. Okay.
And so he might have been showing some distance either because he's not my father, he's my father-in-law,
Yeah.
but also because we had we had something that happened that just
Okay.
made me never feel quite the same, like
Oh.
about him, like, and he apologized, but it just, I don't know. There was always a distance after that for me. Um, and the wine is really interesting because towards the end, at the very end, my husband called him every single day, at where he was, his
Mhm.
assisted living place. And he would say, go get yourself a glass of wine, and go down to dinner. And so my husband would always remind him, go get yourself a glass of wine and go down to dinner, and so
Oh,
I think that's why he's pointing to the wine label and the bottle, because, he would remind him, to go do that. And he did have strong opinions. The pram, that's what I had for my kids. I forgot what brand it was, but it basically was a pram, a
the
navy
pram,
blue.
yeah, rather than the baby buggy.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
a navy blue and it was modeled on the old-fashioned prams.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And also then I did have an old pram that I pulled out of somebody's trash that then I never really used, but I just saw it. Oh, why are you throwing this away? And I pulled it out, never used it, and then I threw it away. But so travel to Africa, yes. Um, the majority of the family did that out of, I don't know how many, but certainly three or four out of the six or whatever. So that would have been significant. Um, Mein Kampf. Well, yeah, I mean, that's all about Hitler and all of that. And he would be very concerned right now because he was Jewish. And so
Okay.
they definitely had ancestral healing or,
Okay.
ancestral things from relatives that, they lost a lot of family members actually in that.
Sure.
Um, and I'm pretty sure I remember my husband talking about his parents smoking weed or one of the kids, like it came up at some thing, like I know his mother did, so I'm sure his dad did. And he was always putting vinyl albums on, there was always classical music playing.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
and and then yeah, I understand about, oh, interesting. Yeah, I understand about this too shall pass, because I actually said that to myself this morning, this will pass.
Uh-huh.
And then I also, that's really interesting about the don't waste energy on little battles. And I know exactly what he's talking about right now. So, because there is something going on. And the Southwest, it's so funny. It's not so much a retreat, but they know their audience. So I just got one of those Road Scholar, like they sent me a Road Scholar that has
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
wonderful trips in it.
Yeah.
And I kept looking at, and I was thinking about it even probably during this morning. They've got some that are out too, like, different national parks.
Hmm.
And I thought, oh, maybe I should do one of these. One of these trips would be great. You know, otherwise I'm really never going to see it out there, except for I'm seeing shores in the background, but I want to be there. So, Yosemite or someplace like that.
Oh,
So that's so really interesting. So he's saying, yeah, go do that. So
okay.
yeah, these
All
cool
right.
trips, you know, so thank you so much. Yeah, there's a lot of
Thank you.
good evidence in that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good communicator with him, just I guess he's been in before, or was he
He
just a good
has.
communicator?
He's been in before. He doesn't come in that often. And I have to say, you know, I was sitting here going, I guess you guys have to be very busy because none of you ever come in. I'm like, I guess you're just very busy. You know, or you're very far away.
So
And
you tossed the gauntlet and there they came in. So
so,
that's good.
so yeah, so it was really nice for him to come in. So I
Yeah.
appreciated it a lot.
Okay. Good. Good stuff.
Yeah. Um,
All right.
so
Well, I think we are close to the end here. So I want to
yeah.
thank our YouTube audience for stopping in and talking about all things mediumship with us this morning. If you like what you saw here today, hit like and subscribe on our channel, and you'll be notified of our upcoming live streams. We are live every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So those are the live broadcasts, and the replays are available on our channel too. So then I'm going to go ahead and close this down with a prayer. If everyone would join me, please. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today and serve spirit. Thank you for this gift of mediumship that you've given us, and allow us to use this precious gift to help others who need your healing and love. Bless our friends and loved ones and protect them from sickness and harm. Bring joy into the lives of people who have sorrow, health into the lives of people who have illness, and abundance to the lives of people who have little. Thank you for the lessons that you've given us today, and help us to continue to build a relationship with you that is based on love and trust. And always, please help us to be the lights that change this world for the better. Amen. All right. Thanks again. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. All right. Now.